And magically he appears. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tel Cockerel. Thursday, the 21st of November. How is everybody? I hope you're all well. Yay! International Week is over for another year. We say goodbye to International Week. We don't have another International Week now till March. So therefore, now we go through the pain of watching our team for a prolonged period of time until the next international window comes up in March. And there we go. We all say to each other, yeah, international break came at the right time. International break came at the wrong time. International break is boring. Well, put the excuses away. We're not having these excuses again till March next year. So it's a welcome break from international breaks till next March. Right. I have got someone that should be on with me, but they're busy at the moment. They are going to jump on as soon as they've taken a call. And with that being said, let me say hello to people in the chat. Got Ben saying afternoon bingoers. Yes. Yes, bingo is reserved for bingo WhatsApp only. I'm not sure whether I've not put it onto my group, Ben. I've left it with just the group that you've got. I don't know whether people would want to join it and whether, but yeah, bingo's brilliant. There's a lot of people here who I think that appreciate playing bingo. Bingo's fantastic. So it's afternoon bingo is Ryan G is piped in with good afternoon, Jose, in the chat, and all the bingoers. See, if you know, you know. He says smash the lights on the way in. Jose copying Kate and Jim for lateness today. No, I didn't. I took a work call just as I was finishing up. There's an important call I had to take. Yeah, and I just had to get some things done before I could jump on. So I'm sorry I'm late. Mr. Shear. Mr. Shear's here, says morning. Is it morning for you, Mr. Shear? I think it's late for you. It's not approaching. I think you're about an hour before morning time begins. Are you not 11 minutes past 11 or 12 minutes past 11 or something like that, David? Or is it gone past midnight? I thought you was 11 something. Where am I at? I'm right here. Coover says a little bit of snow and all the channels are late today. Oh, look who it is. It's Ash. Jose, the chilliest stream on YouTube. I don't know about that. Finn's here. Finn's here says, big up Jose and the rest of the chat. Good afternoon, Finn, sir. I hope you are well. I hope you're well. Jimmy Hotspur's here says, big up Jose in the chat. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Jimmy. I hope you are well, sir. Small down to you, Daniel. Small down to you. I hope you're well, mate. Peter Gagaius is here. Says, hi, it's 3:09 a.m. in Melbourne. Okay, so that must make it 12:09 for you then, David. It must be 12:09. Come in when you come in. I'm just saying hello to everyone.
Hey!
Another person who was working like me and just had to take a call. Johnny Bethnal Green says, afternoon, Jose Mucker. People will say hello when they see you. You're here as well, Colin. And then you've got Cooper says, oh, hello, Ryan G. I can still see you despite the giant gap between us in the predictions league. Oh,
I love that. I love that.
Fired. And then you've got Daniel Sandoval here saying, big up to La Familia. One love. Come on, you Spurs. You'll be seeing me above you by Monday, Coover. A good week is coming. G'day, Jose Cobber. Colin's late. Oh, did the thumbnail have your picture of you as well, Carl? Is that what it was? Okay, so people must have known that you were coming on. I wasn't sure because I didn't look at it. Thanks for doing the thumbnail, but I didn't look at it. I was been working, so I hadn't had a chance to have a look. Here he is. Look, hi, Jose. Hi, Jose, and hi to the chat. It's Jamie. Hello, Jamie. I hope you're well, mate.
Hey, buddy. How's it going, man?
I know there's a lot of things going on, but I hope as you're well as you can be, Jamie. Our thoughts are with at this time.
Absolutely.
Jose is an addict, says Ben.
Uh-oh.
I'm not an addict. I like playing the game, though. It's a good game to play. We're playing football bingo at the moment. I'm in a group. Football bingo. Football bingo is absolutely brilliant. Sean Slater.
Never heard of it.
Sean Slater's not here, but Sean Slater is a Don that I've been playing against as a Don. But You gotta get bingo. If you get bingo, but there's a lot of people that will never sing that because they haven't got bingo yet. But it's brilliant. It's a brilliant game. It's a brilliant game. Ryan G says, "Hey Jamie, mate. I hope you're doing a bit better, mate. Good to see you." So Ryan's spreading the love as well. Daniel says, "Ryan, I'll send you my predictions before the prediction show, mate." Shots fired. Shots fired. Jamie's thanking you, Ryan, for he says he's getting there. We do wish you all the best. Finn says, "I'm very well, thanks." I'm glad to hear that, Finn. David Shears now confirming it's 12:12 a.m. Haha, you blokes have changed, not me. We're staunch to Godfather because our clocks have all changed, Colin. So now that our clocks have all changed, they haven't changed in Oz for these. Well, not for David anyway. So David was 7, but now he's 8 hours in front of me. So he'd be an hour in front of whatever it was for you as well.
I'll have to look it up.
Daniel Coy saying hello to Jamie as well. Quez is here. Says Jose Cole, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Finn is saying to you, Colin. Johnny Bethnal Green saying easy Cole.
What's up, buddy? How's it going, John?
You got Colin and Jose, the Dream Team said SP. Addict. He's calling me addict again.
Doubling down.
SP says, I suck at football bingo. Don't even try. No invite for me to football bingo because everyone knows they getting smashed.
So what are the rules of football bingo? Is it like
so you get given a board, right? There's a board, right? It's a board of 16, right? And then from that you get given 60 players. Right, one pops up and it only appears for 10 seconds, and you've got to associate that player with one of the 16 slots.
Okay, cool.
And if you get them all right, it's bingo. And it's like it's getting them right, but it's also the time it takes you to get them, type thing. What is interesting though is that when we do bingo, we're doing the Premiership, and everyone's quite savvy with the Premiership. But when you start doing it further afield, and you go a bit further afield, and you do I don't know, let's say you do Europe on that. When you start doing that, people don't score as highly because their knowledge is more Premiership than Europe. And then when you start doing old school, like the other day, I don't know what one I did. I hit one of them. I set my game up with one of them, and the one that I set up had all these like Ancelotti managed them and stuff like that, and you're like trying to figure out who these players are. And then yesterday I did a Spurs one, Spurs only, and you've got a comment there from Ryan G. Says, Jose, you screwed me with the ancient Spurs one last night. It was all about Tottenham. It was about nothing more than Tottenham because you can create just about one club, and then a player's name will come up, and he may have been sold or may have played for another club, or he might have done something else. So it all comes up. But bingo is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, as I said, I haven't put it onto my group, but I think that once the word gets out, I think a lot of people want to play. I don't know, Ben. I don't know whether Ben keep it within that group, and if he does, then you have to contact Ben to be part of it.
Oh, Ben's the man.
Yeah. SDFC Benny says we're getting something from City. Ooh, someone that's positive. We will talk about that today. Ben says no VDV Romero and possibly no Deki and Basuma. Ouch. I've not heard all that. Is it immaculate footy? Is it like immaculate footy? It certainly is. Looking forward to it, Ash. Great to see you. Here's David Shear. Spurs bingo is brilliant, is what Ben Kaufman's saying. James is here.
No, what's up, James?
Good afternoon, James. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good afternoon.
Hope you're well, buddy. Traveling probably with your mom someplace. He's always all over the world, it seems like. James is always on holiday.
And then Ash P says, somebody convinced me we're not losing 5-0, so I can sleep at night.
4-0. Just 4-0. Ash, you can go to sleep. It's okay.
And then you've got David Shear says, careful with the U-melts.
What's that? I gotta Google that. Oh, okay, never mind. I get it.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's the football teams.
For a second, I was like, hold on, what is that? I gotta search it up. But
Then Goffin says, no, Jose, Spurs bingo was made for us personally. Ben from what we are Tottenham TV reached out to Dan, who is the creator of the game, and also in the group. Daniel says, Ash, we're getting smashed on Saturday.
Oh
right.
my gosh, guys.
We said hello to everyone, Colin. Yeah. Now I'm going to say, Colin, how are you? Sorry.
I'm really good. Oh, sorry. I'm really good. Tired, but I'm always tired. That's like my default state. Yeah, and Thursday we're making it through the week, you know. So yeah, I'm good, and we're one day closer to seeing our boys back in action. I miss Spurs, even when we're not playing well. I want to watch us play, you know. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for the match this weekend. Everybody's so pessimistic about it, but this is typical Tottenham. We lose to a bad team. We beat a good team, you know. We've seen it time and time again. So yeah, I'm good. Good. Life's cool. Good. How about you, buddy?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Working hard at work. Yeah, they work pretty hard.
Yeah, I've got I'm trying to think. What's my countdown? Right, so tomorrow's Friday, so that's the end of this week. Then I've got 3 weeks to go, and then I'm off for 3 weeks.
I forgot you get that whole December.
No, it's not. I get it. I choose to take it off because I love spending Christmas with the family and having the time off, obviously. But then what I also do is I take the week before the week before the 2 weeks I take off just to have some me time to do whatever I want to do, and then I don't have to worry about the kids, about the girls and that. I don't have to worry about my wife and that she'll still be at work, and it just gives me that week to just do what I want to do. So if I want to go out it's getting cold now, but if I want to go out for walks in the woods, walks along the seafront and stuff like that, I can do my walks and I don't have to worry about anything at all. So
yeah, woods near you? That's cool.
Yeah, we've got the woods. Yeah, I've got woods. So I go one way, I've got woods because I'm in the countryside. So I've got woods if I go one way, and if I go the other way, I walk straight down into the town centre and to the seafront and that. So
that's lovely. That sounds adorable, actually.
It's not bad. And then the dogs.
I need to go to England and check out something besides London. I've never been anywhere except for London. Well, actually, no, I'm lying. I've been to Bethnal Green. You know what I mean? I haven't been outside of the major London, like the greater London area. I need to get around next time I come visit. So yeah, maybe I'll come around your ends.
Yes, I'm looking forward to having the time off. So yeah, three more weeks. But like everything, you cram. You try and tick off everything that you're doing or anything that's outstanding before you go and leave. Because what I want to do is I want to go and leave the least amount possible for my teams to deal with.
Very kind of you. Yeah.
You know, so I try to get everything done, and and I don't like starting anything new pre-Christmas. I'd rather just get everything done, and if we're going to start any new projects or anything, we'll put them on hold, and I can think about them, but I won't start them again to the new year. So yeah, it's quite a busy time for these 3 weeks, but I know that I've got 3 weeks thereafter to look forward to being off, which will mean that I will be I might even come on here daily. Who knows? Well, in saying that, if I'm doing the predictions league, it's going to be mental because I don't know whether I'll get a day off for the predictions league because we're playing so many games in December. And when it comes to the Christmas period, we'll be playing every 3 days as well. So it will be prediction mayhem for me over at Christmas.
Maybe I can come back. Maybe I can find my way back up to the top of the table.
Yeah, you've got to be in it to win it, son. You've got to be in it to win it. These people in the chat will tell you you've got to be in it to win it.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong. But yeah, you were speaking about December. I'm almost getting ahead of us. I'll wait. I was just going to talk about a certain player of ours that's unavailable. But
yeah, I've got to come to that now. So my first banner was the club appeals his suspension. Bring up the present. No, it's not that one. It's this one. There we go. So, Colin, it says Tottenham statement on appealing the length of Rodrigo Bentancur's ban, and they've said whilst we accept the guilty finding against Rodrigo by the Independent Regulatory Commission, we believe the subsequent sanction is severe. Your comments on that, mate. What do you think on the Bentancur situation?
I was going to say it kind of honks me off. I don't know if that's a term that's used by y'all Brits, but it kind of honks me off that they waited to do the suspension until the busiest time of the season, the time of the season where you need your players fit, you need to have people available. I know that they had to, I guess, meet about it and deliberate or whatnot, but it seems like they knew from the get-go that he was going to get a ban. 7 matches has been, I've heard that for ages now. So it seems kind of uncool, I guess, to me that they decided to suspend him when they did. It would make more sense to me if it was a lot closer to when the actual incident occurred. But yeah, I think the club's got every right to appeal it. I think that if you use as a precedent, what's the name of that? I think he plays for Chelsea. The
Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, was also, you know what I mean. If you use that as kind of I know they're not comparing it to anything. That they are saying that he is guilty. But if you look at that fella who didn't get anywhere near a 7-game ban, did he get anything at all for that? For what he did?
Nothing.
So it just seems weird to me. I think the club, they're sort of walking a fine line. I think that, you know, the ban could be extended, right? If he's if they decide not to accept our appeal.
Do you know what? With that, I'm not too sure. So Jimmy Hotspur has just said, can he play whilst the appeal is ongoing? No, he can't. The appeal is against the ban, but you got the appeal. Sorry, the ban starts Saturday. So the first game he misses is Saturday, but this appeal is going on now, or the appeal is going to be lodged. But the ban's in place, so he cannot play any any English games for the next 7 games. His first game back will be the 26th on Boxing Day against Forest. However, he can play in the 2 European games because the ban is farcical, because you would have thought that he'd be banned from all games, but apparently he's not banned from Europe. He's allowed to play against Rangers and Roma during this time, but he's only banned from English games. So it's obviously
at least that's good. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'd like to know your thoughts, of course. I'm sure we'll get them, but I think the whole thing is pretty silly. I understand that what he did was wrong for sure, and I think that some people might have even been downplaying it a tiny bit, you know, saying he didn't mean anything by it, and he probably, you know, he didn't. I don't think he was being the slightest bit intentionally anything, you know. I think, but I do think that what he said was kind of dumb, and in today's world where everything, you know, you got to know about the world you're living in. And in today's world where everything is super duper PC and, you know, I think he should have just probably known a little better. And a ban, okay, give him a match or 2. I just think 7 is absolutely, it's just too much. I don't know how else to put it. It's quite a lot. But what about you? What say you?
What about the situation?
Just in general, yeah.
I think, you know, at the end of the day, what's it's like anything. You know, at the end of the day, you'd like to think that there is some time limit into, you know, when these things. I mean, now that they've read out the clause and the subsection of what he's been charged with, right, and where it can be found in the FA rules and that, or in the Premiership rules, right, it's as clear as mud when you read out the ruling, right? So if that's what he's been charged with, and he made his appeal, because his appeal came through near enough at the start of the season, because he was charged near enough at the start, and I remember we all remember thinking this. When's he going to be told? What's, you know, and we've been waiting, and because we've now been waiting these 2 and a bit months or 3 months or whatever for them to actually pass a sanction on him, we're just like, well, you know, if it was as clear as mud, right, according to their ruling, then, and the appeal's been made, what's taken them so long to actually announce it now, you know, in November? So that's the bit that gets to us. Obviously, as supporters, we're going to be missing a player for 7 games, so that's where it hits us because we're the supporters. Yeah, I'm kind of lost in the sense of I don't want to get political or anything here, but I don't understand what was so different between the Chelsea boy, the Argentinian Chelsea boy, and Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
Can't understand because, you know, at the end of them singing hatred songs to French people, and he apologized for it because he's admitted his guilt doing it, apologized for it at the
An
time.
apology is an admission of guilt for sure. Yeah.
And he apologized at the time, and yet the Premiership decided not to do anything at all with it. And I don't know whether it's in and out of competition because this all confuses me. Because at the end of the day, UEFA and FIFA didn't do nothing about it. But then again, with Rodrigo, UEFA and FIFA haven't done nothing with Rodrigo because otherwise he wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been available for the 2 Europa games. So it kind of like, you know, it's a bit of nah. But I think good on the club. I'm not sure, as you said, that with the club appealing this because I think the sanctions too severe, not the monetary value, but the playing time, I think is too severe, right? With that, I'm not sure, Colin, whether, you know, if they were to lose an appeal, whether they would then have to lose him for a longer time. I'm not sure how that works out. Normally, when you get a red card or a yellow card and stuff like that, if you then appeal it and you lose your appeal, you could be given more time off. Just what I mean. So I'm not too sure with what they're going to do, but yeah, for sure it's going to hit us. I'm glad the club have done that. They obviously feel strongly about it, and they're obviously defending their player as well as the rules, I suppose, because he's admitted his guilt. His guilt is there. The club said he's guilty because he admitted his guilt. Come out and said he did. He said it. Said sorry. Did whatever he did with Son in the background. Son has been one of his witnesses. So when they made the his appeal, was one of his witnesses. But he's guilty. We know he is. No one's taken it away. He's been found guilty. And at the end of the day, the other clubs in the league, we're hearing reports that other clubs in the league feel that that it's really harsh to give him the ban that they've given him. So
cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know the other clubs were in agreement. That's cool.
Other clubs think it's really harsh. They're just like, wow, they've really come back. They've really come down on him. Paul G is here. Says, "Evening all, come on you Spurs." Jimmy Hotspurs says, "Isn't that just madness? And no international ban, even though on international duty when interviewed."
Yeah, I knew there was some like deliberation about that because he was like on international duty, but it hadn't began yet or something like that. Like that. Yeah, it was weird.
Ben says 7 games is fine, but do it at the beginning of the season, not during the winter Christmas football season. And that the interview was done in April.
I'm in total agreement, Ben.
Ash P is reminding us that the gambling suspension on Tony was done so fast.
Good call, Ash. Yeah. They had no trouble getting a deliberation there. So
Finn says, I think personally Bentancur's ban was fair, but I don't think it should have been for 7 games. But that's just my opinion. And Mikey, good morning to you, Mikey, because he's obviously in the States where you are as well, Colin.
Mikey,
he's further up the East Coast.
So he probably works on his garage and his yard sometimes, like me. You loved that yesterday. That was good stuff.
I had a conversation with Colin yesterday to see how he was, and he told me he was working in his yard and his garage, and I thought it's fucking fantastic.
What do you guys call a garage? What's a garage called?
I was working out in the front. Or I was working out in the front. Or you say I was working on the patio. I was working in the garden. Stuff like that. So yeah, it's just madness, absolute madness. That when you were saying it yesterday, I started pissing myself.
You did. He laughed. He got a good chuckle out of it, everyone. But yeah, it was the last warm day. Today it's cold. It's like 30 something degrees here. Let me see what that is in the old Celsius. 35. It is 1.6 degrees outside right now. 2 degrees. Where I live. So
22 degrees.
Sorry. So 2 degrees C.
2 degrees where you are. Okay, you're warmer than me. You're warmer than where I am.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah, you're warmer than where I am.
It is chilly out there. But yeah, Enzo was with the Argentina squad. Lolo was still in England on the way to international duty, says Mikey. Okay. I knew there was something there where it was like fine lines, and you know what I mean? So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Drula says, afternoon, Jose, yōkoso, and big up the Cockerel crew. Mikey
They
says,
love Drula.
It says, afternoon, Jose, morning, Colin, and hello to all in the chat. Dan Coys is saying, I don't give a shit if I'm harsh. I'm sick of seeing players play better for their country and their club. Dragusin falls into that, as well as Romero. And to be honest, I'm getting sick of it, mate. So he's
Daniel, one thing you gotta remember though, with especially with Dragusin, is that they sit more. The national team sits more. They don't play this crazy high line that we do, and I think honestly he suits that style of defending better. That's my only. I don't really have any arguments for other players, but yeah, I think it's a system thing for Radu.
Anthony, good afternoon, sir. Says, big up, Jose. I missed the international predictions. Did the points go on our predictions that we do? Yes, they did. They did go on. Sorry. Yeah, they did go on, and we had some fun. We visited Algeria. We visited Angola. We visited Burundi. We visited New Zealand. We went to Croatia in the 3rd Division South or something like that. We went to, Spain, the Seychelles. We went absolutely all around the world. We did 4 continents. And yeah, it was big fun, and all the points, the points were there, because when it's a break, when it's the international break, the predictions don't stop. So people got bonus predictions in and made points like that. So yeah, it did. Just want to get this sorted out.
Oh, you're okay. I'm telling everybody to watch out though. I'm coming back into predictions, and I'm getting all greens every week. So watch out for me, guys. I'm climbing back up that ladder.
I've picked the games for this week, in the sense that I've already picked the bonus games for this week as well.
You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to do fantasy football, and I'm going to do my predict the prem. I'm going to do it all this week.
On a Friday, just remember to go on it and do it. So Ben Kaufman says, 2 centigrade, it feels like -1, wet, cold, as well as awful where Ben is. I'm the warmest. Everybody come to India for winter.
Sounds great. Yeah.
League says it's 7C on the East Coast. Whereabouts are you, Quiz? If you're on the East Coast, whereabouts are you? Are you anywhere near Mikey? You anywhere near New York and New Jersey? It's the Sopranos. And then you've got Drula says, just seen VDV is still out for at least a couple of more weeks. Yeah, we'll come into that.
It looks like somebody just popped in the back.
Yeah. I've seen. First rainy day in a long time too. Says Quez.
It's raining here too. Yeah,
Quez is in New England.
Okay, cool.
Spurs King says, I don't think it's a system problem for Dragusin. I just think he's an awful footballer. Davinson Sanchez without pace.
Damn. Tell us how you really feel, Spurs King. Dang.
Daniel Coy says, so Colin, you're basically saying Ange is exposing Dragusin for his high line. So what Dragusin fails unless Ange goes, mate?
He could adapt. He could adapt to it. He could get better with it. You know, players adapt. But at this time, I do think the high line's making him look worse.
Mr. Jamie.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone?
We're good. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Getting there slowly.
Good deal, man. It's good to see you.
Yes. I thought I need to start practicing if we're going to start doing shows again. So
there you go.
Get my voice.
You're saying you need to practice. You were doing this years ago, mate. You were doing this before I was doing it. You say you need to practice.
When I was a young lad.
When I was a young lad. No, you were, because I remember Colin told me that you used to do all this when you was Tottenham TV or whatever you called yourself back then.
Yeah. I started.
Tottenham or something.
It all kicked off, and I just got away for a little while. But Colin stayed. So, and then now, we're two brothers.
Lovely.
Virtual hug. I'm hugging you.
Yeah.
But
sorry, Jimmy Osprey saying, looks like we're going to have a makeshift team with City team who have lost the last 4 games. Ben says he's not allowed to travel to India because of medication. It's
Oh,
bloody
damn it.
freezing here today. Snow still everywhere where Ryan is because he's in the Midlands. And then Quez is saying hello to you, Jamie.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I can't
Ryan
see the chat
G.
because I'm on my phone.
Ryan G says yes, Jamie. Big up.
Thank you, guys.
Finn
Appreciate it.
Rickwood. Big up, Jamie. Mikey Romero. Big up, Jamie. Hope all is well.
Thank you.
Jamie, we were talking. I don't know whether you've been listening to us, but we were talking about the Benton Core. There it is. The club's appeal. The club appeals Benton Core suspension. What are your thoughts on that, mate?
I think it's, to be fair, I think it's valid because of what's happened. I don't see the point in appealing it because you're only going to lose one game out of it. If it's because you're guaranteed to 6 games, aren't you? So what's the point
really?
of one? Yeah.
Where'd you get that from, Jay?
Oh, I saw it all over social media and I saw it on some articles. Like if it's a racial comment, it's guaranteed 6, but then Spurs have given him they've been given 7, so you'd only lose one game out of that. That's what I heard anyway. I could be talking absolute nonsense, but I read it somewhere.
When they read out the charge and the sub articles and that, I didn't. Well, it didn't seem. It didn't seem that it had the racial slur much of that wording in the charge itself.
No idea. I just read some articles about it, but I think it's a bit stupid because Enzo Fernandez did a lot worse, and he got swept under the rug. And in Spurs, it's just it got done properly in house. So I think they should have just left it as it was. But then someone at the FA probably has got a vendetta against us. I don't know. And then
Levy pissed somebody once, and here we are.
Yeah, but you know what? It is what it is. It's just
if you can't. Exactly. You can't complain too much. You got to just kind of roll with the punches and do what you can, you know.
Yeah.
So,
but it's gonna be a big miss on Saturday, Benton Core, because he's had a decent season.
Oh, great season! I think Benton Core is quietly one of our best players.
Quietly,
yeah.
You haven't been spending enough time with me, then, Cole.
I know that you've been on the Benton Core hype train since you first came. You know what I mean?
Since I first met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was brilliant when he first came, and then he had a little bit of a slump like every other player does. But then now he's starting to find form again. And now
even after those injuries too, that's crazy to me that he's been able to make such a comeback, play at what I believe is his top level, you know, full strength after those 2 major injury setbacks is incredible. The knee.
Well, I think Andrew's definitely got to try something because he doesn't like playing Madders or Kulu, so it's gonna have to work out because it's gonna be big test for him on Saturday because it could mean a lot for him.
For Big Ange, you mean?
For Big Ange, yeah. I feel like because the next 2 games are gonna be quite tough because you got City away, which they've got players just come back, and then we've got Roma, which isn't going to be an easy task at home.
So playing them at home. It's at home though. That's good. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, but Roma's still a decent side.
Yeah, of course.
But it could be a big test because it could do really well, or it could be on the chopping blocks. So it's going to be a tough one.
I honestly think
Jimmy, I'm going to star your question because we haven't got to the Man City game yet. We will get there. So I've just starred your question, and we'll ask it afterwards when we get onto the Man City part. Sorry, Colin and Jamie, carry on.
Oh no, you're good. I wish we had a person that it would be really cool if there was like a Korean person in the chat and we could ask them how they felt about what Benson Core said. I mean, I think I would probably be offended. You know what I mean? But again, it's hard to know, and I don't want to be offended for other people because you know that's strange. But yeah, so I don't know the whole Benson Core suspension thing.
I have seen some people like some Koreans on social, and that Korean woman, you know, who we spoke to, Colin.
Yeah,
like they're not offended by it, but then I think Martin Keown, I think he came out on TalkSport, said, "Oh, they're really offended by it," but I can't stand that guy anyway. He's a bit of a dick. But
right, so I speak Spanish fluently, right? Mm-hmm. And although in South America there's a twang to their Spanish, the same as the Americans and the English. The 2 languages, although we're speaking the same language, there's a bit there's a bit of twang there as well between the two languages. And I've listened to the interview and I've listened to the pertinent part of it. Yeah. And I've come out straight away and said, there's nothing there for me. There's nothing there at all. He wasn't being racist. There's nothing there for me at all. Now, I'm not saying it because he's a Tottenham Hotspur footballer. It can be anyone that was speaking in Argentinian or in their twang and stuff like that. And not one, it doesn't matter who said it, it's not a racist comment in my eyes. It's not. And I find it hard that, you know, that people believe that it's a racist comment because I don't think it is. But then that's my personal opinion. Now, I grew up in an era when National Front were bang in the centre of everywhere you went in London back in the 70s and 80s. National Front were everywhere. So I know, you know, what it's like to be on the other side of racism and that. And for me, so I'm going to call it as it is. If I think you was a racist or you're a racist, and back in the day when I was growing up and that, then I'll tell you. And for me, it's not a racist comment. But you know, it's people. Someone's deemed it to be, and
I
we are
feel
where
like
we are.
I feel like someone in the FA is trying to make an example of something, and then I thought, let's use him as an example.
To show, like, hey, we are combating racism.
Like,
we are doing our thing.
Like the Premier League's big on racism.
Yeah,
let's just bring up that Benson Core interview again. Use him as an example. Like, if anyone says you're going to get a massive ban. So it could be used as that way. But like I just feel like Bobby Kay said, like, I'm in the same boat as him. I could be put in jail for half of the stuff I've said back in the day. But it is what it is. Just carry on, move on, and then go on to the next bit.
And he apologized, and but I couldn't tell if he actually felt bad in the apology. In the apology, he sort of seemed like he was saying, "I'm sorry, but like I don't really get it."
Well, Sonny accepted it, didn't he? So
yeah,
and he came out straight away and like defended it. It's like, yeah, it's all done now, war under the bridge. But then the FA's got involved, and if the FA was so serious on it, they would have jumped in it a lot quicker. They would not have waited. It's like
that's what I was going to say about the wait. Do you think that was planned? I don't want to say that there's like an agenda against Tottenham, but it sort of seems like maybe, like, you know, they could have done this a long time ago when the season was a lot, or, you know, the fixtures were a lot less congested, but they waited until the festive period where, you know, there's a game every couple of days.
But what you don't know, guys, and none of us know this, is what was the appeal. We know what the charge was. The appeal went in straight after the season started, within the first 2-3 weeks of the season starting. We've had to wait a long time for the sanction, but it depends. If the appeal's gone in and there was a big bundle or there's loads of paperwork to go through, for them to come to a decision, they might have had to interview people. They might have had to get statements off people, you know, and stuff like that. So there is a process you've got to go through. Now, what you want at the end of the process is you want the correct outcome to be made at the end of a process. Regardless who you are, everyone's got the right to an appeal, but you want the correct outcome. Now, there is a correct outcome because he's admitted his guilt. So there is a correct outcome because he's admitted doing it. It's just whether that outcome is correct in the sense that, you know, he's been given the 7 games, because no one's saying he's not guilty. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you were whether he's in civil court or whether he's in Crown Court, right, and you were being charged with something, if someone then made a decision within about three seconds, would you be happy? True. If it was against you, you wouldn't be happy, would you? You want the due process.
Yeah, you'd want a fair trial, wouldn't you?
You want the due process to be followed. So we don't know what was in the appeal bundle, and then you don't know what the league then had to come back with. So that's probably why it's taken them some time. We just wished that it wouldn't be this time. We just wished that they would have acted upon it, let's say in the summer months, you know, because this happened back then. If it happened in the summer months, then his ban would have probably come into play for around the start of the season or just after, and then we wouldn't be missing Bentancur now, would we?
No, we wouldn't have, no. But it's only domestic, so he can still play the Europa League, can't he?
Yes, he can play in the Europa League. And this is what I was saying earlier, Jamie, that it's weird because FIFA and UEFA didn't get involved. Common Bowl didn't get involved. No one got involved apart from the Premier League. And that's why he cannot play in English games, but he can play in the 2 European games.
So clearly they don't deem it as that bad. if they're not getting involved.
Or maybe they don't have. So there was talk about how he was about to go on international duty, but international duty hadn't actually begun yet. So I'm not sure if they were actually allowed to get involved since it didn't happen on their watch. That's sort of where the confusion comes in on my part. But I think Mikey, I think it was in the chat, pointed out that the difference between the Enzo Fernandez one is that Enzo was actually on international duty, like away with his team, whereas Bentancur was like international duty was about to start, but it hadn't yet. So I guess he was still under the rules of, the Premier League or the FA.
Well, it's still stupid though, because Enzo's was a lot worse. And it's
Yeah, but
half the squad singing the song. So, and
but if it's judged by who's with who, you know what I mean? Like where you're with, I hate it, and it's really stupid, but I think I kind of understand.
Yeah, I get it to a point, because if you can make an example, fair enough, then get out of the way. But then it needs to be done the same way. If someone else says something, it needs to be the same. Because if it doesn't, then it's clearly, I feel like the person on the committee is probably a City fan. He goes, "Oh, he's doing quite well. Let's get him out now."
You never know. You never know.
You never know. But yeah, it is what it is. It's crap, but we move on. There's still loads of games to go.
Exactly. So hey, everyone was telling me though we're also without man, his name's escaping me. It always does. This
Mickey
happens.
and Romero.
Nope. Midfielder came from Brighton. Basuma. Yeah, I've heard he's out as well. Is Basuma out?
We'll come to the Man City game. We haven't got there yet. We'll talk about Man City when we come to it. We structure to the show, lads. Come on, you're out of tune.
You know me.
Peter Kagayas, right? Going back to the weather because people are talking about Man City, and I'm not going to discuss that yet. But talking about the weather, Peter said it's 34 tomorrow and 36 on Saturday. That where Peter's at. We all wish we were there. Dan Coy says, "Well, Ryan, when we get a shit summer, they will get their winter, so there will be a time to come, mate." Peter says, "Give him 25 degrees every day of the year." Jimmy, I've highlighted your comment, and we will answer because it'd be Man City. Ben is saying that if we can't beat Roma at home with Ranieri as the manager, I want him even more gone. David Clark says the interviewer asked the question of Bentancur in a racist form and he answered it in a comical way. So it battered the question back to the interviewer. The only reason why he was charged is because of woke fear. Bobby K, as you said, good morning to you. Bobby says, "Good morning, everyone. If Bentancur is considered racist for his comments, then I should be in jail for half the crap I say."
I agree.
David Clark then says, "If you are offended, then be offended. Nothing happens. Your ears don't fall off. This weak world doesn't affect me because I won't be told how to behave by these woke Marxists." We are not a political channel, these people. Jimmy Hotspur says, "Isn't it funny that FIFA haven't got involved with everything they preach about regards racism?" We have Adrian says, "Good afternoon, Jose Colin Jamie et al. Good afternoon, Adrian, sir." Carl Simpson says, "Bentancur, good afternoon, Carl, by the way, admitted the guilt, but 7 games is nuts. I say 3 is enough." Just want to make sure that we've caught up so we can go to the next one. Yeah, Enzo was under FIFA jurisdiction. Lolo was still under the FA. And Enzo had teammates irate at him. And I think a few unfollowed him on socials. They did. Bobby says, "Enzo sang a racist song and Bentancur made a joke. One was deliberately done and one was a poor innocent joke gone bad. Who's worse?" Bentancur said something thick with no malice. What Enzo did was massive malice because it was meant to target the French players of African origin. And David Clark then says, "I worked on a major construction site for over 50 years and many different cultures and colours worked on them. And everybody took the fun out of it, was banter. Nobody got hurt or offended because it was widespread." Right. I'm going to move on to the next subject, lads. Right. The next subject is what we're here today is we're here because International Week has finished. So how did our boys get on in International Week? You asked me. Do you want to know how they got on?
I do. I would love to. Yeah.
Right. So this is how they got on, people. So, Son played 60 minutes and 90 minutes in his 2 games, so 154 minutes overall, and scored 2 goals. Kulusevski played 180 minutes, two full games. He's got 2 goals and an assist.
Come on, Kulu.
Ben Johnson played 89 minutes in each game, so a total of 178 minutes. Got a goal and an assist. Basuma played 90 and then played half a match and got an assist. I got 2 assists.
Nice.
Dane Scarlett played 22 minutes and 56 minutes, so 78 in total for the England under-21s, and scored a goal. Bentancur played both games, so because of the charge, I think the charge came in after the first game, although it was muted that it was going to be the charge was going to be, or the sanction was going to be 7 games. I think the sanction came in just around the time that he was playing the first game. So because of the sanction then coming in, he's going to miss time. He ended up playing 90 minutes because otherwise Bentancur wouldn't have played 2 90 minutes. So he played 180. Gray for the under-21s played 2 90-minute games. Vuskovic played for the Croatian under-21s, played 2 90-minute games. Dragusin played 90 and 68, 158 minutes. Vicario played the second game for Italy in a 3-1 loss to France, so he played 90 minutes.
Game.
Yikes. Yeah.
Porro played 90 minutes for Spain in the first game, nothing in the second game. Pap Sarr came off the bench and played 2 minutes in the first game and 87 in the second game. Romero played in the first game 45 minutes and then came off with an injury. So he's only played 45 minutes of football. Adogi played 21 minutes and 7 minutes. He's played 28 minutes. Bergvall played 24 minutes in Sweden's second game. And Solanke played 15 minutes in the second game for England. And that is where we are with the players that played. They're back. They're back at our club now, all these players. How they are and how they aren't, I don't know. Because,
some of the boys did really, really well. Like, I know that we looked at the raw numbers just there, but like some of the performances from our players, Kulusevski, outstanding. Vicario, we know that didn't go as well as it could have. I only saw the first goal, the own goal. I didn't see the second one that they scored on. But yeah, I mean, I think some of our boys had a great international break. And I do think it's cool that Vicario is getting some time as Italy's number 1. It's pretty cool.
He got done at a set piece again, though, didn't he?
Did he? I don't know. I don't remember
corner,
the free.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I saw the one that was the free kick. But yeah, that was the only one I saw. That's a bummer. What are we going to do about that? That's a problem that needs addressing, but I don't know how to address it.
Well, Vicario.
Yeah, just and the corners, the deal with corners. I don't know.
That's the problem because everyone knows he has that weakness now, and he's a very skinny lad, so he's easily pushed about. I do feel like in the summer we need to buy one that's going to compete with him, because Fraser Forster can't. Austin, I don't see that guy ever taking the number 1 spot. If I'm honest, he's been there for so long. We need a proper keeper in the summer to compete with him.
I agree,
because he knows he's guaranteed number 1 spot, isn't he?
Sure. Not a whole lot of pressure on him.
Exactly.
Yeah, Jose, were any of the performances you thought, like, particularly? I mean, we talked about Kulu. I think Kulu might have been the best performer out of everybody. But like Sonny played well. He had a disallowed goal too, I think, in addition to the 2 he did score.
With the Nations League, I don't really care about it. They're pointless for international games. Like, I don't get excited about England games anymore.
They might be pointless, right? But I think they're better than the friendlies they used to have.
Oh yeah, like as a competitive thing, yeah. Like when it was pointless, but I prefer the World Cup or the Euros. Like when these ones, it's just players are going to get injured. That's why I'm not happy about it. And I can understand why they're saying players playing a lot of games for these, because some of them get like Pap Sarr for 2 minutes, and then I know he played the other game, but it's just pointless. To me, it's pointless. I just don't see the point in them.
So just before we carry on, just want to read out this comment so we can catch it, because it's on context with everything. I'd like to give people credit to know when they're actually being insulted and when something is said in fun, says Kuva.
You would think, man.
Henry Thong TV, good afternoon to you, says Spurs marketing manager came to my school yesterday and explained how they are releasing the redesigned badge at home at the home match versus Manchester United. Jimmy Hotspur saying that Vicario was awful in the French game. David Clark says Coolidge scored as many goals for Sweden in one game than he has for Spurs all season. Ryan G says that from set pieces, Vicario is poor. The free kick own goal was unfortunate.
True.
Carl Simpson says, did Romero dash back for the birth of his child as well? Yes, he did. And I think they've named his daughter. He had a baby. His wife had a baby girl, and I think they've named her Lucy. There's an interview. It's interesting because there's a lot of people talking on here about all these injuries. Now, Ange has done a interview that was from the training ground that was done with Sky, right, where they're talking to him about Bentancur and about how the club are challenging the decision. Now, this news only came out yesterday, right? But the players hadn't all returned back from international duty yesterday, but they all are at Hotspur Way today. And this video on Sky, I don't know if you get to see it, it's about 5 minutes long. You can find it on YouTube as well. But it'll be there, right? Ange talks about all the players. He talks about he thinks that Mickey van der Ven is back on the grass training. We haven't got to the game yet, but Mickey van der Ven's back on the grass training, but he just feels that Mickey van der Ven won't be available for this weekend. He reckons to get Mickey back fit properly, probably the middle of December we're looking at. And he said with Romero's had his issues and came back for his child's birth, and he feels that Romero may not be available for Saturday, is what he said. But they're the only two players. He said that everybody else was fine. Now, all of a sudden, in this chat, I'm seeing people talk about Kulu, people talking about Biss, and I've also seen people earlier talking about Dragusin on another show earlier on today, saying that Dragusin will probably not be available either. This is not what he said today in an interview, and I'm presuming that interview was from this morning when the players were at training. So yeah, he's until he comes out in the presser tomorrow, I don't think we're going to know, guys. To be honest, bring on the mighty force, says Jimmy.
Come on, Jimmy.
Spurs are rumoured to be linked with a French 23-year-old goalkeeper from Lille. Chevalier is what.
Oh, he's pretty decent on FIFA, to be fair.
FIFA, yeah. Football was never played on paper; it was played on a computer. Everyone should know that by now. Jesse's here. Good afternoon, Jesse. Good afternoon. All she's saying. Good afternoon, Jesse. I hope you're well. God, Dragusin and Davis, says Carl Simpson. We're not sure. Spurs GCTV. Grant says, afternoon, Jose Cole, Jamie, and all in the chat. Jimmy says, funny how Romero recovered for his country's international game again. He didn't. He only played half the game. He come off injured.
He came with his foot again, didn't he? He's injured.
So with the boys, they've all come back now. And we all play lottery, don't we? Doesn't matter what team you support. It's a lottery. The more players that you got in your squad that go out on international duty, the more you're just you're biting your fingernails, aren't you? Because you don't know how if your players are going to come back and be fit for you. Because we all want our players to be fit and available for all our matches, and we're going to have the same argument saying, well, we pay for their wages. They're our employees. They belong to the club, blah, blah, blah. But these players do like going to play for their international sides. And if they didn't, they'd drop out like people like Grealish and Foden and people like that all pulled out the squad. Bukayo Saka, who's another one who pulls out the squad all the time. You've got all these players who pull out of squads, but our players seem to love their countries and they will go if they're selected. If you, Jamie, Colin, I'm going to ask you both, right? If you were both selected to play for your countries, right? You're a footballer, you're playing for a club, you're selected to play for your country. Would you turn them down or would you go and play?
I'll let Colin answer this one first.
I would probably go and play for my international team. I mean, I think it also, I mean, it's circumstantial, right? Like if, for instance, we had like a final coming up, so I'm saying I'm a Spurs player in this scenario. So if Spurs were, like had an important FA Cup game, the quarterfinal or something coming up, I might skip international duty then. But yeah, everybody wants, I think, to support their country and be seen as Yeah, you know, a hero to your entire country if you can pull something off. I get it. I get it. It's tough to say what I would do just because I've never really been in that situation, of course. But yeah, unless there was a really important match coming up, I think I would play internationally. And you know, those opportunities aren't guaranteed. You know, you turn them down once, another player takes your spot, plays well, your spot's gone. So it's like, yeah, it's a hard decision.
But you're
I think I
American.
would.
You're American, right?
Mhm.
Are you? Do you not sing your national anthem and stuff like that? Are you not proud to be American?
Uh, you know, yeah, I'm proud enough, I
Not at
guess.
the moment.
Right? Yeah, I'm
Well,
proud enough.
if okay, Jamie, what about if you're English, aren't you, Jamie?
I am, yes.
Okay, so if you're a footballer and England call you up, are you turning up?
It's kind of what Colin said. It depends if it's a tournament. If it's just a World Cup, I'm 100% going to play for my country in the World Cup. If it's just the Nation League or friendly, I'd go and train with them, but I'd make sure the coach or my club manager goes, look, if it's just that, just give them a couple minutes at the end. That's how I'd work with it. I know I've kind of bottled it out that way, but if it's World Cup, I'm definitely playing for my country.
See,
Well, what about Euros?
I think to myself, you're both putting it on. You're both answering the question as fans and not as footballers, right? Because regardless, so if Spain or England called me up and I was a footballer, and depending what nationality I played for, regardless whether it's Spain or England, right? If I'm getting called up, I am proud to represent my country, and that means I would go, unless I was unfit. And I was met, and I was unfit, and the club said I'm unfit, and you can't go because you're unfit, right? Even if it's even if it's a friendly, I would, even if it's opening a shop, right? Even if it's going to play, having a fight with myself in a phone box, I'm turning up. I'm turning up. I'm playing for my country. I'm not putting a fan's head on it now because as fans we say, well, why don't I have to play that game? That game's a nothing game. So
Okay, but can I turn it a little
Go on.
bit? Let's just say, okay, you're just playing an England or Spain friendly, and then but your club was thinking we've got a cup final on Saturday, to try not to get injured. Are you gonna be in 2 months thinking, oh, if I get injured, I'm out of the final?
Okay, I'm going to spin it to you again then, right? You've never been called up by your country. It's a friendly, meaningless friendly. You've been called up. You've got a 95% chance of playing, whether it's the start, middle, end of the game, and getting your international cap.
Oh,
What are you
Getting your
going to
name out
do?
there, becoming
Are
an
you
important fixture for the team. Yeah.
are you saying no? I'm going to wait for my team because they've got a cup game in 2 weeks' time. Do you see what I mean?
well,
Because
they do pay my wages, and I've got bad legs anyway, so.
But they'll pay your wages even if you're injured, as long as you're under contract.
Yeah, no, but I don't want to be one of those annoying players that irritate me. They sit on the bench and just happy to get a wage. Like I want to play.
I'm getting what Jose's putting down. I mean, even a meaningless friendly is an opportunity to impress the national team coach. It's potential to get you into the Euros or World Cup.
how
Depending
many
on where you are.
people? Sorry, Japs. How many people do you think? Because I don't know the answer myself.
Mm.
But Colin, I mean, how many people do you think have been called up by their country, right? And let's say they said no, I'm not fit enough because of my club and stuff like that, right? And then never been called up again. How many people have
I'm
been called
sure
up?
that there's
Yeah,
some of those.
and how many people have been called up for their country, and um, I don't know, they made the subs bench, right? But they didn't get on the pitch, and then let's say that's for a meaningful game. It's for a qualifier or something like that. And then the following squad, it's a friendly. They decided not to play, right? They're not turn up, and then they don't get called up again after that. So they've not earned a cap. They've not got a cap out of it. Do you see what I mean? So, and you've got some players out there. The one cap. As long as you represent your country once, it means something. You've done it. You've made an achievement. Do you see what I mean? So that's
Right.
where I look at it and I think if I take my fan hat away from being a fan and I look at it as being a professional footballer, I would have thought that all professional footballers be the pinnacle of their careers playing for their countries, regardless of who their countries were.
I get that, and you're right. It does go down in history. I mean, it's a kind of a historical, like it's important for you in your career. Yeah, you as always, you make good points, sir. I probably would.
You'll make good points. Both so do both of you. But I'm just Jamie was going one way, so I spun it the other way, and we could spin it in all different ways, but there's different ways of looking at it. Sorry, Cole, go on.
Oh, I was gonna say I probably would play for my. I mean, it feels good to be asked to do things and to be included in teams made up of all the best players out of your entire country. I mean, I think there's a bit of pride in it as well. But yeah, all players just seem so absolutely jazzed about going to play for the national team. I think it's probably been a dream of these guys for their entire lives. I mean, why wouldn't it be? And so yeah, it would be really hard to turn down.
Unless you're Arsenal players who they got injuries. The dark magic from Arteta.
Yeah, but it's weird because since they play for Arsenal, I feel like depending on what team you play for, you have a much higher chance of getting back into the squad. So like,
if you're a top 6 side, you're more likely in the squad for England.
Yeah. So say Solanke got called up while he was at Bournemouth. I think if he said no and he hadn't gone to, and if he hadn't gone to Spurs, he would have a hard time getting himself back into the team. So I hear you, Jose.
But is that the first time Solanke's been called up since? Because I don't remember him being in the squad when he was at Bournemouth.
No, he wasn't. The last time he was in the squad, he was either at Chelsea or at Liverpool, and he played one game. I think he got called up and played one game for England, and that was 7 years ago.
Even after that good season, he didn't.
He was 20. He must have been at Liverpool. If he was 20, he must have been at Liverpool when he got called up. I think it's Liverpool rather than Chelsea when he got called up and played one game.
So that's quite sad then. If you think of that, he had a really good season, still didn't get called up, but goes to a top 6 club, and then he automatically on the list. I think that's a bit harsh. It shows that it's not about form, it's about who you play for.
In a sense, I think you're probably right.
Yeah. Bad.
Yeah, I don't know, because you get players from teams that are not in the traditional top 6 that end up playing for their country anyway. So it just seems, it's a weird one.
Yeah,
but then again, it depends on who the manager is and who they fancy and stuff like that. I mean, if you look at the strikers, he would have had Harry Kane. You would have had Wayne Rooney. In the last 7 years, Wayne Rooney was still playing international football. So you've got to look at the players that are around and was he going to get there in front of them? And we know that Gareth Southgate never picked that many 9s, if you want to call them 9s.
Yeah, he didn't know.
And that's because when Southgate started, Rooney was still at his disposal. But then as he's moved along, you've now got Kane, Watkins, you had Tony, Ivan Toney there as well. So that's 3 number 9s already. He wasn't a manager who picked many number 9s. So then, but now, if you look at the 9s now, Tony's out of that picture now. And the 9s that he's now looking at are Kane, Watkins, and Solanke.
And I don't think Tony's going to get back in the picture playing in Saudi League. I don't think he's going to get back.
No, it'd be interesting to see what Tuchel does, like what he's going to pick. Because I'm quite excited about it, to be fair, to see how it's going to work.
Tuchel, your boy, your man crush, Tuchel.
Well, I can have him now because he's an England manager, so he's an English German, so I'll take it.
There you go, love it. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited to see what he can do with England too. To be fair, as an American who our team doesn't really compete for things. So I've kind of glommed onto you guys as a second team, and yeah, I love watching England do well, which they haven't played exciting football in a long time. So hopefully Tuchel can do it.
Well, you got our boy now. You got a Poch, so you can always sing that song.
He's magic,
Yeah. I do miss that guy.
Yeah, the might of America beat Jamaica 4-2 in the second leg the other day. A riveting victory for the USA. Onwards and upwards onto the semi-final. I think they're in now of the competition.
Go on,
whatever competition you're playing, and you're in the semi-final. Against,
you're welcome.
You'll probably meet the might of St. Kitts and Nevis or something like that in the next round. Who knows? Right, David Clark says the worst player ever for dropping out of international games was Ryan Giggs. He should have been banned because he was never ever injured. Kuva says, my sense of tribalism only exists at club level. I couldn't give a shit about what this country represents nowadays. The days of being proud are long gone. Bring back the empire and invading everyone. And then you've got David Clark says, if I'm your international coach and you constantly pulled out of friendlies, trust me, you would not be going to any World Cup, and I would just text you to tell you because you wouldn't have the respect. Good evening to John Fitz says, big up Jose and Colin. Good evening.
What's up,
Fitz. Well.
Fitzy? Good to see you, buddy.
Quez says it's also an opportunity for fans of their country to see them play in person. Limited opportunities for them if they play in Europe. And then you've got congratulations, John Fitz. Says Bobby, we had a new addition to the family 3 weeks ago. So I'm living in madness these days. Congratulations, John Fitz. Congratulations to you and your family.
Congrats, brother.
David Clark says you have to go into battle in order to win a medal. Do you think you can just wash a chieftain tank and get a Victoria Cross? Mikey Romero is now saying, guys, Poch got me watching US men's national football team.
I'll have to tune in as well. I've been avoiding it. So, yeah, I'll have to see. Good call, Mikey.
Johnny Fitz said, yeah, a baby boy. We called him Ryan. Bobby Fitzpatrick, born to play for Spurs.
Love
it. It's got a nice name to it, isn't it, on the back?
Quez Ali says, Tuchel is counterfeit Conte.
Oh, shots fired.
Go on, Quez, with your... Yes, man. Go on, Quez. Jamie would love that. Quez. Just giving it out. There we
Quez,
go.
Why?
We got Panama and Canada face Mexico, and Bobby says, Canada, we will smoke them. Edem says, has the scores started? I don't know what scores you're talking about, Edem, but I've got no scores at the moment. Right, I'm going to go to the next banner that I've got for you guys. Man City's going to be the last banner that I do, but you'll be happy about this one. You'll be happy about this one, I would have thought.
Yeah, why can't this guy just shut his mouth? Radu's agent spewing again. He talks more than he ought to.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
There we go. So, Radu Dragoson's agent, Florin Manea, says his client will not leave the club in January, but will reassess the situation in the summer, depending on his game time at Tottenham. He will not leave Spurs in the January window, no chance. It's an honour to be linked with Napoli and Juve, but these are just rumours. He has 5 years left at Tottenham. He'll reassess the situation in June if he doesn't get the minutes. And it's come from Football Italia. What do you say on that, guys?
This guy just needs to shut up, doesn't he? He's just constantly going on. If I was Radu, I'd be like, mate, shut up. You're going to get me in trouble.
I'd say you're fired, bro. Like, get out of here. I'll get somebody else. I'll have my brother do it. So Jamie and I have some inside knowledge. We've gotten to talk to Radu's brother. It seems like Radu doesn't have any desire to go anywhere else. Happy to be in the Premier League. That's where he always wanted to kind of end up from the sounds of it. So yeah, I mean, I think he must have known the score when he came in. We've got these two defenders. They're both amazing. Radu's in his early 20s, 22. You know what I mean? So he's got plenty of time to come into his own, especially as a defender. I mean, I think it's not quite at goalkeeper status, but defenders can kind of play longer. Their game peaks at a slightly later time. So he's got plenty of time. And the whole we'll reassess in January. What the heck is he talking? Reassess what? What are you going to try to do? Force your way out? I don't know, because like it says, 5 years left on his contract. So yeah, it's just wild to me. I don't know what the whole point of this was. I still don't like it's an honor to be linked with Napoli and Juve part. You could have just left that out. You can say these are just rumors. He's got 5 years left on his contract.
I think his agent's just putting it out there to say, look, if Napoli want to come in, we'll speak to you, kind of thing. But you obviously got to get permission from Spurs. But to be fair, Radu's been a bit poor so far this season. I know he hasn't played much, but he has been poor. But it's new, isn't it?
He plays I think he's playing like a young guy in his first season in the Premier League. I mean, he's not great.
A lot of foreigners that come in, they've got to try and adapt to the game quite quick. You got to think he was playing for in it. Was it the Italian league he was playing for? Wasn't he? So
Yeah, it
so
was. I can't remember what
it's
team
a
now.
very slow league, isn't it? Ours is very fast paced.
I don't know. I don't watch much of the Italian league. I don't know if that's like I don't want to say not a rumor. That's not the word I'm looking for. Is that a real thing that the Italian league is that much slower than the Premier League? I've never watched enough to be able to say
because
that.
I remember Conte coming out when I think Spurs like 1-0 up, and he goes, "If this is Italian league, we would have won that game because we slowed the game down. But here, it's just constant pressure back and forth."
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm looking forward to Vucevic coming in and
giving some things to think about.
Yeah.
Same, but it'll be the same for him. Foreign person, adapting to the league.
Yeah.
Jose, what do you think?
I just think this is the best comment, because if you see the size of Phil's a big lad, and Phil says Radu's agent is a first-class bellend. If Phil says that to you, take it you've been told. All right.
Yeah, don't want to fight Phil. I'll put Phil on my don't want to fight list.
Let's say hello. So just saying hello. Look, it's Ellie. Ellie's not well at the moment. She's poorly. She's on medication now. Rightfully so, because she's been through for the last couple of weeks. And she's now medication. She's still not well, because I've sent her a message, and she's still not 100. But she says, "Hello, lads. Nice to see you all. And that yellow jacket is lush, Colin."
Thank you so much. I love it. I found it at a thrift store for like $6, so can't beat that.
Nice.
And Phil Coy says, "Big up, gents. Hope you're well. P.S. Jamie, my Spurs shirt still hasn't arrived 9 weeks down the line." Oh,
but Jamie got his though finally.
It's still not arrived. Jesus. Yeah, I got mine. If you can message me your order number, I'll try and speak to the guy and get it. See what's happening.
We got. Sorry,
David Clark says, "Come on, you commanders, let's smash them cowgirls."
Okay. I think that's. Is this NFL?
Must be. Ash says she's off. Night. Good night, Ash.
Hey, it was really nice to see you, Ash.
You know where you can stick that new Spurs emblem where the sun don't shine, says David Clark. He's not holding back. No. Adrian is saying, "I'm hoping for a 2 foot of snow and that Man City versus Spurs is postponed." So that gives us a chance, because all the congested fixture list, so that gives us a chance then, if it was postponed, to get all our players back fit.
We could pull an Arsenal and just say we don't have enough fit players to play and we need to move it.
Jimmy Hotspur says we should be playing 3 at the back, in his opinion.
And I think Radu would do great in a back 3.
Carl Simpson says Radu should concentrate on being any good before his agent thinks about moving. I've heard his agent is secretly Charlie Kane.
Don't even. That's too good. Yeah, at all. It's all coming together now.
And Leo flexing his 3 months member badge, saying, "Let's go. I'm grateful to have you, homies." Likewise, Leo. Likewise.
Love you, buddy.
He says that he's a friend. He says he's a friendly giant. I just said that if you get told by Phil, then you've been told. That's all I said. Side Dancer says, "Big up, everyone. Big up to you, Side Dancer."
Big up, bro.
And Potato Stew taking the piss, saying Paul's panel says score draw. And Quez is saying, "Dallas fan, we are terrible this year. My only hope is Tottenham," says Quez.
Dang, you're putting all your hope in Tottenham. That's a scary one. But
and then you've got Phil Quez is another bingo out. He says, "I know, Ryan, where has footy bingo been all my life?" Sorry, Colin, you wanted to ask me something on this regular Dragon before I caught up with the chat.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. I mean, do you think that there is any way that they would reassess? You know, what do they have to reassess? What are they going to do? Is he going to force him to move away? Do you think that's a likely thing? Do you think that? I mean, like I was saying, he's so young. It just seems like it makes more sense to bide your time and learn and wait. You're kind of already at, we're Spurs fans, so we think that Tottenham's like top tier, and I mean we're close. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think he has any desire to leave? Do you think that when he came in, he probably knew the score and knew that he wouldn't be getting a whole lot of starts? I don't know. I just wanted kind of your take on just the situation in general. He's
on a 5-year contract, I think. I I'm not going to be able to give you the lowdown like you two, because you two have got inside information apparently. So my look on it is he's got a 5-year contract. He signed a 5-year contract. The only way that he leaves the club is if Tottenham are not happy with his performances, or Tottenham are not happy with the player, both on his performances, his attitude, growth, whatever. Then Tottenham can, actively look to sell him or move him along. But if they are happy with him and they're happy with his trajectory and his learning process and the coaching with him, then all the cards are in Tottenham's favour. He's on a 5-year contract. So, at the end of the day, his agent can say whatever he absolutely wants to stabilise. And I'm sure that, I know the club are right crap with their PR at times, but I'm sure the club must have someone that does their social media and shit like that must see the comments that this guy makes on these on Shitter, and they must obviously have a word with him and say, look, mate, you got to stop all this. And if you don't stop, the only surprise I've got is I would have thought that with the with his agent spouting and spewing crap all the time, I would have thought that maybe they would have passed him on to CAA base, like we've got with the other players in the team.
Yeah, a lot of our players are going that way.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought if you're asking me. But like I said, you two have got the inside information apparently, so you're in a better position to answer this question than me.
Yeah, I mean, speaking with his brother was pretty cool. He's a good guy. But no, I think that, like I was saying, he's young. What age would you say defenders kind of what's their peak? I know, I would say it's later than for strikers personally.
It's normally around you hit your prime around about 27, don't you? And he's still learning. So he's 22.
Shit, that Cannavaro was crap then, and so was Maldini, and so was they were all shit because they were brilliant in their 30s.
Exactly. No, but exactly. So I'm just saying he's got plenty of time. I don't think he's wasting his career. I don't think he's rotting away. I don't, some players, I get that. If you're not getting playing time, you've got a limited amount of the ability to have playing time, and you've got to get out. You've got to get that playing time. But I think that at this point he can definitely still benefit from being here, from learning, and I don't think it's too big of a deal.
Well, we know his mentality is really high according to his brother, so he fights for his position, and he would have come in knowing that he's going to be third choice. So
exactly, and I think we're getting rid of Romero in the summer, which then I think is going to mean that Dragusin gets more minutes, obviously. But
then you never know, that young kid Vucevic can come in and end up taking over from him. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we're all excited to see him. I don't want to put too much expectation on him, but I am excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, no, as long as he's I think we need more goals from our defenders, don't we? Because they need to start chipping in a bit more. So,
well, I mean, Pedro Porro scores a few, but I know you're talking about center backs.
I'm not classing him. I'm classing as because he's the only one who ever shoots. Your doggy, he never shoots for some reason. Well, I don't know. It's what it is.
Yeah, Radu's agent's a tool. That's all I got to say. That's the long and short of it. But
yeah, he's not the cleverest of chaps. And as I said, I would have thought the club would have probably acted upon something like this by now. But it is what it is. You've got who we got? We got Queen Ellie. Oh, sorry, we got Jimmy Hotspur first. Says things may change when a new manager comes in. Who's talking about the Radu situation. Queen Ellie says Dragusin is an old school defender. I hope we drop deeper versus Man City and hit them on the break. I feel that's our best chance of getting points.
Agreed, Ellie.
Main mod says 38 likes, guys. Keep them coming. Benny says get another agent. This guy's an absolute bellend. Do you live anywhere near Phil? Big Phil? Because he uses the same terminology as you do, son.
Phil, was that your side account?
Queen Ellie says horses for courses. Dragusin not good enough on the high line as he can't turn quickly. He's no slouch, but he's better deployed to defend deep.
I could not agree more with you, Ellie. That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah.
Ryan G's telling us it's snowing there again in the Midlands. Side Dancers, another one says, think Radu would be great in a back three in a low block. There's a few people that are saying this back three malarkey. Josh, it's been a minute. Says, big up, lads. Good afternoon. Good evening, Josh. I hope you're well, sir. I hope you're well. It's nice to see you. Vindaloo.
What up, Vindaloo?
What gets longer when pulled inserts in the hole and works best when jerked. A seatbelt, of course. Right. Anyway, we'll move on from Vindaloo. Am I having guests on? No, I've got these two already, and I'm on my last topic. So I'll keep you in mind. I'll keep you in mind, Josh. But I'm not going too much longer today. With that said, he still needs to adapt to the high line.
And he can. There's time. There's time.
And then you've got big up people, respect from Vindaloo. I hope you're well, sir. Small down, Jose. Small down to you, Vindaloo. People have got this on lock now. People say big up to me. I say small down. I got it on lock, and people are copying. People are copying.
You're a trendsetter. What can we say?
Yeah, I feel like Gucci. Queen Ellie says we drew 3-3 last season. We're very smart that match. We used our bounces, and the equalising goal by Cooley was so unexpected, as it was his head right out of the Harry Kane school of heading. Right, last one I've got banner is for Man City are next, and with Man City being next, we have got. Let me have a look at Man City next, and got people saying I'm not worried. We've survived this level on hard mode before.
Hell yeah, that is a wonderful photo, and that just shows exactly that it's not all as bleak as some people seem to think it is.
Yeah. Says Tottenham are likely to be without Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero on Saturday versus Man City. The Argentine came off at half-time with a foot injury in his country and remains a doubt. But you've got a picture above there of the two players that shouldered most of the responsibility defensively last season when we were missing the two players at the bottom. We were missing them. And it looks likely we're going to be missing them this weekend.
And we'll probably see one of the above guys, Ben Davis. I think we'll see him alongside Dragusin. Personally, that's who I'm expecting to see.
I like Ben Davis. He's a good squad player.
I've been saying that forever. Yeah, I mean, Jose, you reckon we'll probably see Ben Davis and Dragusin?
Got no one else really, have we? So
no, not unless they stuck Archie Gray back there, which would be weird.
I think what we may see is Dorrington called up to the squad and be on the subs bench, because you're going to have cover for your centre back. So I reckon Dorrington will be drafted in. He'll make the 20 this weekend, I would have thought. Can't do Vuskovic much about him because he doesn't come to us till February. Who else we got? You got Ashley Phillips is out on loan at the moment at Stoke, so he can't do nothing at the moment. So yeah, I just think if they're going to both be out, then the natural two that you're going to select would be Dragusin and Ben Davis. But then Dorrington will be on the bench. Whether Archie Gray plays or not, I don't know, because if I believe in everything that's being said at the moment by people in the chat, because I've not seen any confirmation anywhere, then it looks like we're without half of our team at the weekend, which then means you can. Some of your younger players will get opportunities. That's what my thoughts are.
Yeah.
But in saying that, we've got a comment here, and it was Jimmy Hotspur says, question, and this is for you two guys: is Ange going to be forced to play the youngsters against City?
Which youngsters?
Like Dorrington and stuff like that. I reckon he's going to go with Dragu and Ben, but if the reports are true, like Dragon's not 100% fit, then it'd be Archie and Davis. Which is quite scary compared to Haaland's back, De Bruyne's back, Rodri's back.
It's a very much a Emerson Royale, Ben Davis kind of a situation. I don't think Archie Gray should. I don't know. So wait, it's Dorrington that's still there. Ashley Phillips is on loan, right?
Yeah.
I think that we would play Dorrington as center back before we would play Archie Gray. I know Archie Gray has played in preseason. I know he's played in some matches in that center back position, but I just think that it might be better to have an actual center back there in this match, especially because
I don't know. I can't see him playing Dorrington unless one of them gets injured. I think he would go with Gray, because he's versatile. He can play in any position.
It's true.
We want Dragu and Davis if the two main are out.
Definitely. I don't know. The thought of Archie Gray coming up against the likes of Holland scares the pants off me. But I mean, he's shown that he's not a slouch. You know, he can, you know, get stuck in, you know, tackles pretty well. I don't know. I think that we'll adapt, and I think that we'll probably be okay with whatever happens. I don't think we're going to change our style up very much. I know that, you know, obviously Ange makes, you know, some tweaks and some little changes, you know, match by match, but I don't think he's going to. I don't think we're suddenly going to sit deep, play with a really low block and then hit on the counter. Even though that would be the smart move, I think that would be the like I think Ellie was saying, the best way to get something out of this game. I highly doubt that we'll do that. But I think that we'll be pretty successful. If we can finish our chances, we'll create chances. We always create chances. If we can put them away, then we're in pretty good shape. And I think we can still scrape a win. It's all going to depend on finishing chances. But as far as youngsters go, I mean, hard to say.
I can't see us scraping. I think we're going to get absolutely battered.
You felt that against Villa too, my son.
Yeah, I know, Dad. But listen, I reckon I can't see Spurs getting a go on this one.
Wow.
Jamie, don't we think, I'm honestly speaking here, don't we always think that when we play Man City we're going to get bad though? Haven't we always thought that? You know, most people that go to Manchester think, well, we're going to get beaten today, aren't we? I think most people think that way anyway, don't they? So
yeah, no, we do. But I feel like the way Spurs are playing now, and if the reports are true that he's lost some in the dressing room, I just can't see it. I'd seen like a 4-0 win for City.
I'll tell you what, the loss of the dressing room, I think, is a load of codswallop. To be honest, I really do. I think it's come out that it was false what was said about the 4 players, and when you come out and you see him speaking today about Bentancur and what he said about Bentancur and that, there's no falling out there at all. So to me, I think it's a load of tosh. And I did say at the time though, Jamie, because obviously you've not been around, the people that raised this were Footy Insider 247, and if you look at their track record and stories, they are pretty hitting 100%. Like they're correct. That when you look at their percentage, it's very, very low. It's under 10%, and then the story's being correct. So yeah, people retweeted all that what you're talking about, Jay, but I don't think there's anything in it at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm wrong. But yeah, I mean, you never know.
So with this, sorry, Jimmy's also said, and then I'll catch up with the chat. But Jimmy's also said, question then, will Maddison start against City? And before we answer that, I've got to catch up with people what they're writing. What have we got here? We have got Kuva says Mats Hummels was one of the slowest defenders around, but often played well in a high line. It's not a problem as long as the players are and the team are good enough at doing their jobs.
Fair point.
Adrian says Gray played at centre back for England under 21s during the week.
Oh, there we go. Perhaps getting ready.
If Gray plays at centre back on Saturday, Haaland will chew him up and spit him out. Vindaloo says you beat City if you survive the first 25 minutes. And then you've got Gray is too weak to play at centre back, says Side Dancer. Queen Ellie says Vuskovic is Croatian and from population of just over 4 million. They produce brilliant footballers, aka Modric, Kranjčar, Perisic, prime examples. Funny they all play. And what about Chorluka? You missed Chorluka because he was at Tottenham as well. Ellie spot on, says Peter Kagaias.
Big up, Peter. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. Kuva says stopping the supply to Haaland is what keeps him quiet. Physically, he's pretty much got the beating on anyone one-on-one.
His first touch isn't that good, though. I know that's not a whole lot to say, but I don't think that he, you know what I mean? He's not the best with the ball at his feet. So that's another good thing too. We can.
Ellie says probably 2 mil of those are women, so just over 2 million men. So how great are Croatia? They made the World Cup final too. Jimmy Hotspur says 4-1 City and a Haaland hat trick.
Jimmy.
Predictions is tomorrow, Jimmy. Come and join us tomorrow. We're looking for new players all the time to play. Come and join us tomorrow. David Clark says, I'm an old man and I've supported Spurs since 1960. Even I know that Spurs have become a Premier League first team academy, and you still think we can win trophies. I'm a glass half full, but I'm not deluded.
We should have some kind of a forfeit, David. If we get an FA Cup this season, I'll make a bet with you.
Queen Ellie says, I think it will be Davis Dragerson, Doggy, and Porro. Peter's then saying, if he lost the players and he's here for a third season, he will get rid of those players. Adrian says Maddison would have space against Manchester City.
True.
No, will he? Because you've got Rodri in that middle.
Rodri's out injured for the whole season.
Bobby K, isn't he? Okay, yeah, then he will. Ignore me.
Bobby K says, you haven't been away that long, Jay. Right. Bobby K says, who knows, guys? Maybe Gray comes in and puts a worldie in. Tanganga did it to Salah a few years back. I like the positivity that Bobby K's showing, man. Bobby K is there. Bobby K.
That's that good old Canadian positivity they're known for.
Follow Bobby.
What time is it in Canada? Is he drinking already, Bobby?
Too early for Bobby to be drinking. You beat City if you survived the first 98 minutes, is what David Clark says. Good evening, Mark. I hope you're well, sir. Are you back from your jaunts? Or are you still in Spain, mate? I think you might still be in Spain. I think you're back this weekend. But if you are, I hope you're enjoying yourself, mate.
Yeah, lucky.
Per capita, Croatia is a top football team, says Peter. Not disagreeing with that at all. It's even Stevens in recent years, Kuva. Latest history, 7 wins each, but we've knocked them out of 2 cups, though. Bobby says it's 12:40 p.m. Been drunk since 9:23 a.m. and I'm into drugs now.
There you go. He's
excellent. Canadian humour, love it.
But yeah, with Man City coming up next, it's Man City have got all their players coming back, haven't they? Supposedly they've got everyone. They've got all their players coming back. We've got injuries. However, I know. I'm saying more to Jay because Jay's probably on the train that we're going to get beaten comfortably.
Yeah,
and there's no reason for me to say you're not right, you're not wrong. But we've been up there. So we went up there last year, got a 3-3 draw, and we had Emerson, Royale, and Davis playing for us last year. At centre backs. We've gone up there with. We've gone up there. It seems to be, I don't know why, but it seems to be, I don't know whether I'm wrong, but it seems to be every time we go up to play Man City in the recent years, and I'm talking about the last 2 or 3 years, we seem to have players injured when we're going up against City. We don't seem to have our first 11. Does it feel like that for you, or am I making this up?
No, I agree. I'm coming back, sorry. But no, I agree with you.
What about you, Jay? Do you think we've gone up there with weakened sides, or we've played them recently with weakened sides?
Oh, I hear people.
Sorry, I missed that. Sorry, say again.
Oh, I was saying, Colin heard me from the background. I was saying that to me, it seems to be that in the last 2 to 3 years, when we've played Man City, we've played them with weakened teams, i.e., we've not played them with our first 11. It seems to be we always have injuries when we're playing them. I mean, gone are the days when we beat them in the Champions League and stuff like that. If you go back 5 or 6 years ago, we had our full teams out against them when we were getting results. But the last few years, I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. I've not looked it up, but it just seems to be that we've always had injuries when we're going to go and play against them.
I mean, even in the Champions League, wasn't Kane injured, and that's why we were playing Llorente?
Yeah, but you still had
the
Vertonghen,
majority of the team.
Alderweireld, Rose played, Walker played, Dele Alli played, Ericsson played, Sonny played, Wanyama played, then Bailey. We had all these players still playing for us at the time. It's just, that's one player, but it just seems, to me, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but in the last 2 to 3 years, it just seems to be that when we go up against Man City, not that we haven't done badly against them, but when we go up against them, we seem to have some sort of an injury crisis going on.
It definitely feels like that. It might just be my short-term memory, that or my long-term memory not being so good. But yeah, I mean, definitely last season. I'm trying to remember the season before, but my brain just won't do it. But yeah, no, I think you're right. I sort of feel like Spurs are a team that plays a little better with their backs against the wall and with this is a game. It's weird. We don't like pressure, right? So this is a game where we go in and we're not really expected to do a lot. A lot of people expect us to lose, and I think with that, there's less pressure on the team, and I think they'll play better. We lost to Ipswich, and it really wouldn't surprise me for us to win against City, just because that's kind of the way of Tottenham at the moment. We lose the matches we're supposed to win. We win matches we're supposed to lose. It's an interesting conundrum we find ourselves in. But I do think that we'll scrape something, even if it's just a point, out of the City match.
I don't know. I can't see nothing but a City win, which is annoying. And I think he's going to be in big trouble if we lose the next two.
So do you think that even though we have some defenders out, our midfield and our front line is more or less the same, we create chances every single match. I don't think the chances that we create come from our defense. So by that logic, we create the same amount of chances as usual. If we just put them away, City can score a goal or two, and it doesn't mean that we've gotten battered, No,
I think with Ange, he needs to sort out his tactics. So defend. If we're going to sit in, we haven't got a full squad. At least defend a little bit. Just not stop going attacking, because it's going to get caught out at the high line. This is where it annoys me a little bit.
I'm just saying though, if we score the chances that we create, if we finish the chances we create and score there, we'll have a couple of goals.
We put our chances away, but how many chances are we going to get against it? That's the problem, because they are a well organized side.
I still think we'll get 3 or 4 good chances.
And then how many chances are you going to put away from our 3 or 4?
2. I don't know. I think we'll do well. I think Kulu will have a blinder. I think Kulu's going to play great. We didn't ever answer the question about whether or not we'd see Madison against City. I kind of think that we will. I'm kind of expecting to see Madison. The fact that he hasn't started for a while too, I think will kind of light a fire under him. I think he'll come out wanting to, earn a spot, and so I think it would be good if he does start.
Sorry, boys. I've got to go quickly because I've got something.
All right, no worries, Jamie. Take care. Thanks for coming on.
I'll speak with you later.
I'll message you guys after, and thanks for all the lovely comments, guys.
No, you take care of yourself, mate.
Be safe, buddy. Be good.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Catch up. Sorry, shush dogs. What's going on? I played in the cup final as a player coach. We were a first division side. We played against the Prem champions and cup holders in that final. We beat them 2-0. Trust me, anything can happen in sport. Queen Ellie says we will be chopped liver if we try to go toe to toe, as their passing is so superior. We've got no chance, but we need our better players and our fighters like Sarson and Kimporo to dig in. Bobby K, Colin, you're depressing me. Scrape out a draw, dude. You need a dose of my deluded optimism. 3-0 Spurs. Gray with a brace from centre back. Come on, you Spurs, or sod you Spurs or something. Not sure what to use. Hotspur, good evening, Harry. I hope you're well, sir. He says, isn't Kulu injured? Do you know what? I said it earlier, Harry. I'll repeat it now. City have no legs in midfield. There's never a better time to go there. What I said earlier is that there was an interview that Postacoglu's done on Sky Sports, and it was to do with the Bentancur, the appeal on the Bentancur ban, and he was talking at the training, and the players weren't all back yesterday. And yesterday is when Tottenham announced that they were going to repeal the ban. So this interview must have been live this morning, but then given on Sky Sports. It's about a 5-minute interview where he talks about that, and he talks about all the players. He says that he said in that interview this morning that the 2 players. He said that Mickey van der Ven's back on the grass, but probably won't see first team football till mid-December because they want to get him right, he said. And he said that he thinks that Romero won't be fit and won't be, sorry, he said that he thinks that Romero won't be available. He didn't say unfit. He said he thinks he will be unavailable because of what had happened to him in Argentina and that he's flown back for the birth of his daughter. So, but he said that when he was asked the question, he said that everyone else has come back fine. So he never gave anything away today in the interview today. I suppose we're all going to have to wait to tomorrow's presser, but I'm going by the interview he gave today that he said that everyone was fit.
Did Kulu come off in one of his international matches?
Played 90 minutes of both games.
Weird. I wonder what type of injury he would have supposedly picked up. I know you can pick up an injury playing PlayStation at your house if you bend the wrong way or you jerk suddenly. Anything can happen. But yeah, I'm interested. If you got any more info, what type of injury did you hear that he had? Just because I'm with Jose, I haven't heard anything either. Only place I ever hang out for news is Reddit, but they haven't said anything there as far as I can see.
So Jimmy Oxford says VDV out till mid-December. Romero Dapper City. So Jimmy, did you see the same interview that I'm referring to on Sky today? I'm sure it's on YouTube as well. That you can find it on YouTube. It's only a 5-minute thing. 5 minutes it was. The whole interview lasted about 5 minutes, and you actually see the players out on the grass. You actually see the players out on the grass as well. Chris Lonnie, good morning to you, mate. He's coming and says Kulu has a shoulder injury.
That's no good.
Kuba says, we've only won at City twice in 14 years, but at least it's twice, so sure we could do it. Twice is a lot better than never.
Hell yes. Absolutely.
Jimmy says on Spurs website now. Right, Jimmy, I'm going because the wording, what it says is exactly what Postecoglou said today. Postecoglou said that he's already training Van der Ven. He's back on the grass training, but they want him to get him 100, and for that, he ain't going to be ready to play first team until mid-December. But he's already training. He's already back with the group training on the grass. Obviously, they're trying to build him up, I would have thought. Edem is saying, I think it was a shoulder, a pain-killing injection. He'll be fine, says Edem. I'd be surprised because, Colin, if, people at the moment are all saying that Kulu's out, Bentancur's out, Bissouma's out, the two centre-halves are out. We know Richarlison's out already. We know Odebert's out. Mikey Moore, I'm not sure. I don't think he played for the under-20, the under-19s in this week. So that'll be a lot of players out.
Turbo Timo to start for us then.
So when someone said, the kids, you'll see the kids this weekend.
I get the question.
I can see people saying, will we see? It's like your Greys and your Bergvalls and that. To me, if you've got no Kulu and no Bissouma,
Madison has to play. That answers the question about Madison.
Madison has to play, but so does Sarr and so does somebody else.
Yeah. And I think that player would probably be. See, this is why I think that I would rather have Gray in midfield than back in the back line. So that's why I'm really hoping that we don't have to use him there. I'm really hoping that we can play Dragic and Davis. That would make me a lot more comfortable. Then you move Bergvall up into the midfield, and I think you have it. And it's still going to be a flimsy midfield, but of Bergvall, Sarr, Madison, and why are names so hard for me? I just said the boy's name. Gray, Archie Gray. So Sarr, Gray, and Madison, I think, is going to be our midfield three, which is again pretty flimsy. It's kind of lightweight. Yeah, I think Bergvall, I mean, he's there, but would you put him ahead of Gray as far as his playing and his...
Well, if it was that Bissouma was out, then Gray would have to play, be a DM, wouldn't he? Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
I know. I was going to say, I know Bergvall is maybe a little bit bigger, more of like a unit, but I don't necessarily think he's a better player than Gray is.
Destiny 5's here. Let me just read out Edem's. Edem says, I hope Timo does start. Walker's legs have gone. He'll skin him.
Hell yes.
Old school the way he said that. If Romero don't make himself available, I'm done with him, says Destiny. His wife had the baby, not him. I just think that there's a bit of both. I think it's his injury, and then they're talking about the baby as well. But I think it's more to do with his injury. Cooper says, I'm sure our fantastic medical team are taking good care of Mickey. they've probably got him doing 1,000 reps of high kicks by throwing him down some stairs to speed his recovery. Go, Kuma.
There's a nightly fight. There's a nightly fight club at the team, and they just make the players fight each other. That's where all these injuries are coming from.
And then you've got David Clark says, I think the kids will play because heard that Spurs have employed extra babysitters. And Ellie is laughing and saying, Destiny 5, woo. Dekaru. God,
oh, what's up, Dave?
These people are all popping in at all sorts of hours. I've just recently woke up and just tuned in to hear Jose say all the players app Saturday. Well, that's a depressing way to start the day. Oh, a long time no see, Cole. Dekaru, I've not for 1 minute said they're out. I've said that a lot of people are saying these players are, and there's loads of players out. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying a lot of people have. My thoughts are, like I said earlier, Dekaru, you just woken up. You've got to listen to it, son. Get with the program. I said we're all waiting tomorrow for Postecoglou's press conference. And in the presser, we'll find out a lot more. But today, in the interview that I saw on Sky Sports, he said everyone had come back fit. So, right. People, it's come to that time. Colin, thank you very much for coming on. I hope you enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I hope your partner in crime enjoyed it, and no doubt we'll message each other later. It was nice to see him on.
Definitely was, yeah, for sure.
When are you guys? Are you guys gonna have a chat? Or do you guys don't know what you're doing yet, do you? You can have a chat about it.
A post match show on Saturday, but I don't know what time exactly. But that is the plan as of now. Is to have a post match celebration of our glorious, unexpected win. And if you guys want to join in the party, two sides of Spurs podcast, check us out.
Do you want to type your link in?
Yeah, I will do. Thank you.
Yeah. So while Colin's doing that, Colin was do that and then bring it up. Tomorrow, 4:00, Friday the 22nd of November, 4:00, Predictions League. And the Predictions League tomorrow, it will be the 10 Premiership games, as it always is. Tomorrow we've got 3 bonus games, and I'm not telling you where they're from, but I've got 3 bonus games for tomorrow, and 2 countries that we have not visited yet will be in the predictions. So tomorrow, 4:00, get your predictions in. If you can't do them on the show, then leave them at the end of the stream and I'll accept them from there. Although you may have to watch the end of the show to find out what the 3 extra games are. But yeah, you're all more than welcome. And then you put it up. So yeah, please all go over and sub to 2 sides of a pit, 2 sides of Spurs. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we changed it again. We thought there should be Spurs in the name, Tottenham in the name.
Sorry. Okay.
No, you're good, buddy.
I wasn't aware of that. So 2 sides of Spurs podcast.
Yep. And it's basically we got the pessimistic Jamie and the optimistic Colin, and that's our and 2 sides. So
Lerton's just come in and said, look, Jose's got the cup. Have a great day, everyone. Vanna2 is what. Yeah, but anyway, subscribe to Colin. Listen to put notification bell on. They're going to be on Saturday for the post game. So go and watch them there. As I said, I'll be back tomorrow at 4:00 for predictions. So I look forward to seeing you all there so we can have the fun games and shenanigans as we do on a Friday afternoon. All there is to say to people is, if on your way out, if you're so kind, can you please hit the like button? It'd be much appreciated on the way out. Colin, your last words, sir, are?
Be good. Just be nice and be good and take care of yourselves, everybody. Have a great day.
And for me, as always, it's come on, you Spurs. And in the big Ange, I trust. Take care, everyone. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye, guys.